Hey everybody, I'm here today with a driving lesson on steering a car. In this video, I'll be going over the basics of steering a car in various situations. Now, without further ado, let's get right into the driving lesson. So I'm actually going to be driving and then just sort of explaining all of the things as I go along. All right, first and foremost, hand placement. Okay, let's go ahead and get moving. Hand placement. You want to make sure to keep two hands on the wheel as much as possible. Now, it's also important to know how to drive and how to steer with one hand, but you want to keep two hands on that wheel as much as possible. Now, this is the 10 and 2 position right here. This is the 9 and 3 position. And then there are other various driving positions, other various hand positions for driving. But what I would recommend is that you want to keep two hands on the wheel as much as possible, and you want those hands to be balanced. You want those hands to be balanced on the wheel, meaning you don't want to have two hands on one side of the wheel. You want your hands to be nice and balanced. It's going to allow you to have the best kind of grip and control over the wheel, okay? But once again, whether you use 10 and 2 or 9 and 3 or down here, whatever works for you, in my opinion, is perfectly fine, because that's going to allow you to be super safe while you drive. All right, continuing on. The next thing that I want to talk about is staying centered as you drive. So right now I'm driving, and I want you to understand how important it is to actually stay centered in a lane as you drive. Now, if I wasn't staying centered, I would be veering to the right and veering to the left, but that's not what you want to do. You want to stay centered. So right now I'm driving on a street. There's a pedestrian over here on the right. That's why I'm kind of going towards the middle over here. But you want to be able to stay centered. Now, having a balanced approach on the steering wheel will allow you to stay centered, because it's going to keep your hands nice and balanced. If I was holding the wheel like this, as you can see, I'm already starting to steer to the left. So you want a balanced approach on the wheel. Also, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're looking far ahead on the road, And also remember that your driver's seat is slightly to the left, at least mine is, or yours could be slightly to the right of the center of the car. So you're not trying to get your driver's seat in the center of the lane or the driving area. You're trying to get the car in the center of the lane or the driving area. So look ahead, keep your hands balanced on the wheel, and make sure that you understand the position of your driver's seat. The next thing that I want to talk about is making turns. So when you're turning right or left, when you're steering, you should try and start off with, your hands on the wheel. And when you turn, you should know roughly where you need to turn the wheel. So check this out. I know that I need to turn the wheel at this point, okay, to make that turn. I'm going to turn around one more time over here. A little bit of a sharp turn. I know that I need to turn the wheel that point and hold it there. So as you're making turns, what you want to do is you want to keep practicing making turns. This way, you can know where you need to hold the wheel throughout the turn, okay? Meaning, if I was just learning to drive, when I was just learning to drive, I was oversteering, so steering too much, and understeering, not steering enough, many, many times. But what happens now is, now that I have driven for many years, I know to turn the wheel that much, and then I can release it. Now, when you make turns, you want to be able to turn the wheel and hold it in that position roughly, while making little micro adjustments, and then release it. It's as simple as that. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're able to estimate how much you need to turn the wheel. Next thing I want to talk about, a 3-point turn. Now, a 3-point turn involves turning the wheel to all the way to the right or to the left, a full lock to the right or the left. So I'm going to pull over here. That's the first step in making a 3-point turn. As you saw, I just moved the wheel slightly to the right to pull over, and there's actually a car behind me. So I'm going to wait until that car passes, and then I'm going to make the 3-point turn. So the car is approaching right now. I'm going to put my left signal on to let that car know that I will be making a 3-point turn after they pass. Now I'm going to turn the wheel all the way to the left. Just like that, I'm able to maneuver the car like this, then put it in reverse, turn the wheel all the way to the right. Just like that, going backwards, then turn the wheel all the way to the left. Just like that. And what that does is that allows me to make the 3-point turn. Now, as you saw, when I was turning the wheel, I was using something called hand-over-hand steering. Now, there are many different steering methods, but hand-over-hand steering and push-pull steering are by far the most popular ones. Hand-over-hand steering is fairly simple, and I'll demonstrate it once again in this parking lot. But it basically involves turning one hand and putting the other hand over that hand and then going under and so forth. So check this out. I'm using my right hand to turn the wheel. My left hand goes over. That is hand-over-hand steering. One hand goes over, the other hand goes under, and it goes back and forth. It's very simple. I'll demonstrate it one more time right over here, and then I'm actually going to use something called push-pull steering, which is the other version of steering. Then I'll show you how to steer with one hand. So check this out. Hand-over-hand steering, just like that. Now, I know I did it rather quickly, but I'll slow it down right over here. Hand over hand steering. Check this out. Just like that. That's hand over hand steering. Now, push-pull steering is when you use one hand to pull the wheel and the other hand to push. So check this out. I'm going to turn right with push-pull steering. The wheel is sliding between one hand as the other hand grips it and maneuvers it. So while one hand is gripping it, the other hand is maneuvering it. It's kind of simple when you get the hang of it. So check this out. I'll do it one more time. I'm going to put my right signal on, and I'm going to use push-pull steering. My right hand is actually gripping the wheel while the left hand is sliding. Now the left hand grips, and so forth. That's push-pull steering. And last but not least, steering with one hand, okay? Now, like I said, it's important to drive with two hands on the wheel as much as possible. But if you're driving a manual car and you're shifting gears or so forth, you need to know how to drive with one hand as well. It's as simple as that. This way, if you're shifting gears, you still have one hand on the wheel. So if you're just driving straight, you want to keep your hand in the top center of the wheel, just like this. And if you're turning, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're gripping the wheel by palming it. So when I'm turning the wheel, I'm going to open my hand and push forward on the wheel. That gives me a little bit of a palming grip, and that allows me to turn. So watch this. I'm just driving right now. I'm gripping the wheel in roughly the top center. I mean, if you're slightly to the right or to the left, it's whatever feels comfortable for you, as long as you're close to the 12 o'clock position right here. Now I'm going to use the palming method. So check this out. I'm able to palm it, turn the wheel, hold it there, and release it. And that's very useful if you're driving a manual car, because if you're shifting gears while you're turning, that's the method that I would recommend using. But that's basically it. In this video, I've gone over a very simple tutorial of showing you the process for steering a car. I really hope that you've enjoyed the video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great car and driving videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.